we took over this building a year and a half ago, which was built originally for the Norwalk Museum in 1973 to 76. And the money for the building was donated by two members of the Lockwood family, Manice DeForest Lockwood and Julia Belden Lockwood. And they also donated a large collection of decorative arts, furniture, art pieces, porcelain, things like that were family heirlooms that were collected while their family was in Norwalk for several hundred years. We took over the building and the management of the city's collection in from the old museum that was in South Norwalk, and we combined that with the Historical Society's collection to build the new museum that we have in this location at City Hall today. We spent the last year and a half renovating the building as not much work had been done to it since it was built in 1976. So we refinished the floors and painted the walls, and then we hired curators and a lot of volunteers, and we developed the two exhibits we have on display today. The Norwalk Collects exhibit tells that story, and it has samples of each of those collections out on display. The exhibit was curated by Elizabeth Pratt Fox, an amazing curator who's done a lot of work in Connecticut, most recently at the New Haven Museum and several other museums in the area. And she did a wonderful job of curating this exhibit for us. The other exhibit we have on display is called Norwalk, A Portrait of Diversity. Features some amazing photographs by our local photographer, Tony Velez. Tony spent the last year going around and photographing the different people in Norwalk and all the different ethnic cultures that make up our rich population here in Norwalk of cultural diversity. And we wanted to tell that stories so that we were trying to be a museum for everybody in Norwalk, something that everyone can relate to. We have 7 more exhibits planned that will be opening throughout next year that will help to tell the story of the history of Norwalk and the people here, and we look forward to getting all those done and open.
The big sellers today have been our globe ornaments that have Norwalk on them. We've sold some soaps, some t-shirts, lots of greeting cards, some books, a lot of Norwalk Historical Society mugs, some aprons, a little bit of everything. It's been brisk sales today.
So this painting is entitled Logging in the Wilton Woods. It was painted around 1920 by Charles Reifel, who is a post-impressionist American painter. He was a member of the Silvermine Art Guild. I just love the colors of the painting and the impressionistic brushstrokes that are used. We're using this painting to tell the history of Norwalk, because at one time most of Wilton, Westport, and New Canaan and part of Darien were all originally part of the Norwalk colony. And what I'm highlighting is it's called an incised tooth with a scene of Norwalk. It's called Scrimshaw. It's a whale's tooth, and it's one of my favorite items in the museum. It was carved by a sailor in the 1800s who lived in Norwalk, and he carved the scene of basically the town green on the whale's tooth, and it's just an amazing piece. It's amazing that we have it. This is one of the most significant pieces in our collection, the Belden family tall case clock, not only for its decorative value, which is chinois painted over japanned black lacquer. The clock was made in about 1765, and it was actually in a house, Belden family house, that survived the burning of Norwalk in 1779. So it's one of the few pieces that we have that predates the Revolution and is a pretty significant piece of our history, and I'm happy that we have it in our museum and on display today.